As has been suggested, we are at a time of newness. Whether this is your first or fifth year as a student, your first or 50th as a teacher, the beginning of a new year opens new possibilities. And thus we do well to consider our goals. I'd like to draw this morning on an address given by Pope Francis to a group of Jesuit students and teachers from Italy and Albania in early June. And I think we do well to consider that it's a relatively safe bet that Pope Francis is the first pope to have taught in a Jesuit high school. He highlighted two features of Jesuit education: freedom and service. He defined freedom as being able to think about what we do, being able to assess what is good and what is bad. It means always opting for the good. This freedom opens us to service. Not retreating, said the Holy Father, into your own small world, but rather being open to others, especially the poorest and the neediest. He then broke off from his prepared text to take questions, and received one from a young man who looked to be about 15 from the Istituto Leone XIII, the Jesuit High School of Milan, who asked about how it is possible, and any help the Holy Father could give, on staying faithful, staying to the purpose, even when one hits doubts and difficulties. The Holy Father then used the metaphor of walking, of being on a journey or on pilgrimage. And I think his comments are helpful for all of us. Walking, he says, is precisely the art of looking to the horizon, thinking about where I want to go, and also coping with the weariness that comes from walking. And so he had 2 points of encouragement. And I ask each of us to hear Pope Francis speaking to us to encourage us as we begin our journey and look to the horizon of where we want to go, but to be conscious also that the journey will be wearisome. He says the first, do not be afraid of failure. Do not be afraid of falling. In the art of walking, it is not falling that matters, but not staying falling. Get up quickly, immediately, and continue to go on. His second point, it is terrible to walk alone, terrible and tedious. Walking in community, with friends, this helps us to arrive precisely at the destination where we must arrive. My good brothers, as we move forward into this year, we move forward together. Let us help one another, befriend one another, reach out to one another when any of us falls, allow ourselves to be picked up when we fall, so that we may all be an encouragement and a help to one another as we move to greater and truer freedom and service. This concludes this morning's assembly.